Hello there, promoters. It's Grandpa Choco, the solo promoter, and I'm super excited to have a new video for you today. And today we are going to talk about belts. One of the comments that I get a lot from when I do my tabletop live play on this channel is these belts that I have for to signify my champions. And I'm going to talk a little bit about these belts and how they came to be, and I've got these belts here for my Legends Fed as well, and I actually have some updated designs which I'll show you, but I wanted to talk about a little bit about, as far as I know, the history of using belts for Champions of the Galaxy or, Legends of Wrestling. Now, this is not the original handbook for 2087 Champions of the Galaxy. This is the more updated one. But even back in those days, you had this sample fight card on the back of, the instruction, or not the instruction, but the kind of bio booklet. And it had a picture of the Galaxian belt, or what we are to assume is the Galaxian belt right there. So very cool. That's kind of the first time in Champions of the Galaxy Legacy that we see a championship belt. Now, when I first got into the game, I got in much later than a lot of other people. I got in around 98, 99 or so. And the promoter thing had been going for a long time. But in those early days, I communicated with a lot of different promoters and talked to a lot of different promoters. And I got this set of belts from Rob that I still have in the original manila envelope. I got them upside down there. But anyway, so these are just kind of a set of hand-drawn belts. You have the Galaxian belt and then tag team and, I guess I'm assuming there's a hardcore belt there. And just kind of different designs that are a lot of fun. There's a CPC belt. Now there was no, as far as I know, there was no, insert sheet or anything like that said, oh, this is this belt, this is this belt. But anyway, so I just kind of got this sheet of belts in my collection. And I think the idea was that you would just kind of like, this is even in the day before we have these plastic sleeves. So you would cut this out and just kind of maybe like tape it to the card. I can't imagine taping something to a card now with my collector's mindset. But, just sort of the idea of to signify your champion, you could cut this out and put it with the, with your champion. And then the next belts that I dug through my whole collection last night, and the next belts I have are these belts that TK did. And these are really, really cool. I love the design on these. I believe I could be mistaken on this, and so let me know in the comments if I am, because it's very, very likely that I am mistaken. But I believe Werner did the art for these, or at least helped put them together. You have your Galaxian Championship, your Interplanetary Championship, and then 2 tag team championships. And the original ones I got of these were on cardstock. These are sort of photocopies that were just used as giveaways. But they were on cardstock, and you would print them out, and then you would cut them out along here, and then, you would cut along here, and then you could actually fold these and wrap these around the card. Which was really cool, and it's a great innovation. Right here it says cutout line, dash lines are fold lines. So it's just super well thought out. The designs are fantastic, and I just think these are these designs. They're really pro designs. They really look amazing. And what I did was I took these designs. And TK said that this was okay. And I put them into Photoshop and I just colored them. And I am not a Photoshop expert by any stretch of the imagination. But I just, dropped these into Photoshop and just added some simple colors. And then what I started doing was, because this is in the day where we have plastic sleeves. So I don't think I cut them out, but what I would do was I would slide them in with the card because I wouldn't stick them in the card. This is a little bit too wide. They would be cut a little bit smaller, but you could slide them in the plastic sleeve to denote your champion as well. But then when I really started thinking about it, I was like, you know what? I wish there was a way that we could stick these on the card, and then instead of putting it in, and then instead of if we stick these on the plastic sleeve permanently, then you could just switch out the card for whoever's the champ. But then what you're doing is you're switching out, the card, and you're risking bending the card and stuff like that as you're taking it out if you're a big klutz like me. So talking to my amazing wife, she was talking about how she has a Cricut machine, and she was like, oh, I could print these out and put them on vinyl. So, it's a little hard to tell, but this is like a vinyl. They're printed on paper, but then they're sandwiched in between this vinyl paper. And then she used this removable adhesive on the back, so you can actually just remove these when you have a new champ. You can take them right off the card and put them on a new card. So she did this whole set of belts, and I laid these out in Photoshop so that I could so that she could print them out, and I could put and then make them into these stickers where you can just take them off. And I will say that the adhesive does leave a little bit of stuff on the plastic sleeve, but if you just rub it, it comes right off. And eventually the adhesive on the back of the belts will kind of rub off itself, but you can just put more adhesive back on the back of them, and you're not going to hurt. I mean, if worse comes to worse and you get some adhesive that just absolutely will not come off the card, you just get a new plastic sleeve. It's not difficult. So these are the belts that I'm currently using, but I'm excited because I am about to switch to my latest thing. Now, if you don't know Greg Hunter, you got to check out Greg Hunter. He is on the Discord. He is on the message boards. And I'll have a link to a thread on the message boards that he put up. And he does these great belt designs. So I'm in the process of putting these, I'm going to be switching out these real ones, because these are just, this is the real WWF one, and I kind of used Photoshop to get rid of the WWF. Not that the WWF's going to come after me, but it's like, oh, well, my federation is not the WWF, so I don't want it to say WWF. But I have these new belts that Greg Hunter designed, and he now has a Redbubble store where you can order stickers of many of his belts, and I've told Greg that he can sell these belts that he's done for me. I mean, it's like $1, so it's like Greg's not buying a new Maserati for these belts. But I commissioned these belt designs, but I said, yeah, you can go ahead and put those up in your store. But he's selling them as stickers, so that you can just stick them on a plastic sleeve and then switch the card whenever there is a new champion. But I kind of like this removable adhesive stuff, and his designs are so great. They were easy to bring into Photoshop to make a layout for my wife to cut them out on the Cricut machine. And I'm super excited about swapping these out. Let's see. So here's my new, and you can see that they're, it's the same design, except he was able to put GSW for Golden State Wrestling on here. So now I have official for my Fed official belts. That's a little crooked there, but anyway. Spend the rest of forever trying to do that, and then watch Hacksaw Jim Duggan will lose it in the next match. And so I sent Greg just these images, and I go, well, here's what I'm currently using. Could you make something that looks a little bit like those? And he did perfectly. So I had him do belts for all my feds. He's even going to do some belts for my online fed, and I have some fun ideas, the Hollywood Elite Wrestling. I have some fun ideas on how I can use the belts, even though that is a totally online federation. So stay tuned for that. I don't have my Memphis cards out. Tommy Rich is my current Memphis champion. And I have to... Dutch Savage is my current Pacific Northwest champion. But just really, really fun. If you need some custom belts, you can go get those. But then also he has these belts and other belts that he's designed in his store, and you can pick them up there. So that's all I really wanted to talk about belts. I'm sure that there have been other belts throughout the history of Champions of the Galaxy that and Legends of Wrestling that I'm just not aware of. But this is just kind of like my little personal history with the belts. And, I think these are really cool because you're not ruining the card. You're not even really ruining the plastic sleeve. And you're, I don't know. They look nice. They look really slick. And to use them to just denote your champions is a lot of fun. It's really awesome. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling a friend about the show. Lots of people saying that they're enjoying these things. If you have a topic you would like me to cover about some aspect of Filsinger Games, Champions of the Galaxy, all that stuff, just drop it in the comments and I will put it on the list. But a lot of super fun talking about belts. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon.